Hi everybody, this is God's Girl G. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. And for those of you returning to this channel to watch this video and you're not already subscribed, why don't you do so by clicking the subscribe icon below. And if during the course of this video you hear something that you like, click the thumbs up, comment below, or better yet, share this video with someone who you feel could benefit from its information. With that stated, let's get into today's discussion. Words are powerful beyond imagination. So think about it. When God created the world, how did he do it? He spoke. God said, "Let there be." And there was. It gives us an understanding that words have power. The potency of godly words can revive, heal, and change our lives. Ungodly words have the power to bind, imprison, and destroy. And that's what we're talking about in today's video. The power of our words. Proverbs 12:18 says, "The words of the reckless pierce like swords, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." What are reckless words? They are the shards of glass that you hurl in a heated argument. They're words that you know you'll regret as soon as they left your tongue. They're the bitter, painful, cancerous messages that leave people sick and hurting. Proverbs 15:4 says, "The soothing tongue is the tree of life, but the perverse tongue crushes the spirit." Positive words plant seeds for beautiful trees. Deceptive words poison others like weed killer. If you are like most people, you can recall on several occasions the many toxic phrases that were thrown your way. Phrases like, "Did you mean to do your hair that way? Why aren't you married yet? I thought you'd do much better than that." And other words can be even more piercing that were thrown at you. "Why can't you do anything right? You're a real piece of work." Or, "You're the biggest disappointment to me." It is important for all of us to understand that God does hold us accountable for our words. So it's important for us to learn how to control them. We will each be judged by our words. And the more responsibility God gives us, the greater the judgment. So now I want to give us some tips on how all of us can do a better job at controlling our tongue. And when we control our tongue, our words are controlled. Countless times a day, when it comes to what you hear and say, you have choices to make. When you hear the words of others, you can choose to receive them as truth or reject them as lies. And every single time you open your mouth to utter a word, you have the opportunity to speak life or the temptation to take it. Think back to the past few days. When you spoke to others, what did they hear? Either you aimed sharp, poison-dipped darts at their heart, or you injected them with life-giving, God-honoring booster shots. At the end of the day, it's all about finding a better way of saying the right things at the right time. And that starts when we can effectively control our tongue. So tip 1 in controlling your tongue, not every thought needs to be expressed. Silence is golden. You don't always have to speak. Anyone can spout off their opinions. It takes wisdom, though, to know when to be quiet. Proverbs 29:11 says, "A fool vents his feelings, but a wise man holds them back." In your life, when all else fails, there's a foolproof way to hold your tongue. Stay silent. Now, I recognize that silence in very hard situations can be very challenging, but you can do it. If anybody in your life is telling you just what they think, insulting you left and right, button your lip and hold tight, don't give in. You may have the perfect comeback, but it isn't perfect if it isn't said in love. It's best to hold your peace, think about how to handle the situation, and come back later. So the next time somebody tries to pick a fight with you or comes at you harshly, just stay silent and watch how fast the fire dies down. After all, they can't have an argument without another person being involved. Tip 2 to control your tongue. Recognize that there is power in our words and we must use them carefully. Many times we say the right things, but at the wrong time, and the wrong things at the right time. I am learning that there is a time for everything, including when to speak and what to speak. How do we know this? By being sensitive to the Holy Spirit. Proverbs 15:7 says, "The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, not so the minds and hearts of the self-confident and foolish." Tip number 3 for controlling your tongue. As Christians, our speech should not mimic the world's. Have you realized how easy it is to gossip, to talk about someone, especially when it's someone you don't like? Of course, you tell yourself that you are merely telling the truth or what you heard about it, but it actually goes deeper than that. Gossiping is almost like an addiction. It feels good at the moment, but afterwards, it leaves you empty and drained. Proverbs 21:23 says, "Without wood, a fire goes out. Without gossip, a quarrel calms down." Don't gossip. Instead, speak words that edify, words that encourage, that are filled with love and truth. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. I am so thankful for people in my life who fed me sweet words of affirmation and encouragement at times when I needed it most. Our words have power, and we always have a choice when we speak. God has given us incredible freedom to choose our words. Some words bring darkness and despair and are rooted in fear, while other words bring light and hope and are rooted in love. We have words that are never released and words that should never be released. We have words that build up and ones that tear down. Our words should demonstrate the power of God's grace and the indwelling of the Holy Spirit in our lives. Creative words create. Destructive words destroy. Hurtful words crush. Helpful words build up. Toxic words poison. Soothing words heal. Faith-filled words bring life. Faithless words bring death. May God enable us to use our words as an instrument of His love and saving grace. Thank you so much for joining me today. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Bye.